Pastor George Borghardt, and this is another Higher Things video short. The fourth commandment and the election, that's the subject of today's Higher Things video short. Not getting into the candidates or any of the sort of wax stuff that is the American election this year for President of the United States. Something to think about when it comes to government and your Christian faith is that whoever wins the presidency, that person has been given to you by God to be your president. If you're on the losing end of that, the other person, the person that you didn't like, that you didn't root for, that you didn't want to be president is still the president, your president. And you should honor them and pray for them. Good prayers, happy prayers, please. And if your person does win, again, in America, we have the greatest sort of gift in that we select our leaders. So really, God gives us what we deserve, what we want. So if you're not pleased in which the direction of the country goes, or the candidate, or the person who's elected, this is the one that our country chose, and God gave that person to us. The fourth commandment would have us to not to despise or anger our parents and our authorities, but honor them, serve and obey them, love and cherish them. So we're to honor our authorities. We're to pray for them. We're to pray for our leaders. We're to submit to the government. And the only place where we cannot submit to the government is if the government asks us to do something unbiblical, something which is against our faith. Which I could say, like, if it required us to deny our faith, or to accept stuff that was unacceptable to our faith, well, then we could stand up against the government, protest the government in a sort of peaceful sort of way. But until that is going on, the leader that you get, whether you like them or not, is a gift from God. And that God will work through that leader for our good, his kingdom. And his kingdom isn't that there will always be an America, or there'll always be a Canada, or there'll always be a Great Britain. The kingdom of God is where Jesus is for us. And so God is bigger than just an election. He's about saving us. He's about giving us and delivering to us the suffering and death of Christ. He has given us a government in order to push down evil in this world, in order to protect us from murderers and the like. But his good and gracious will doesn't sort of rotate around any particular government or nation. It's about believing in Jesus and receiving salvation from him. And so in America, God gives us the leader we want. And then he works in that leader for our good and the good of others. And so whether your guy wins or your guy doesn't win, you still need to submit to the government, honor them, serve and obey, and pray for your leaders. Pray for the Congress of the United States. Pray for your senators and your House, those in the House. Pray for your local leaders and your state leaders. Pray that God would work his kingdom in our midst. That is, allow us the freedom to preach the gospel and administer the sacraments, that he would bring an end to evils like abortion and euthanasia, and that he would give us a good and honest and decent government, and not a corrupt government, that we might live peaceably in this life to serve others as he has loved us and given his son for us. So again, the fourth commandment is important when it comes to the election, even the election of the president, and something to think about as you go and vote, or as you sort of discuss it with your friends. Whoever wins, that's the one that God has given us. And we'll see him work good in that person. And good isn't always good defined by us. Work good in that person for our good. I'm Pastor George Borghardt, and this has been another Higher Things video short.